Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to do another unpackaging. Now for those of you that have been watching my last couple of videos, you'll know that I'm trying to fill up this case of 1 ounce silver bars. Now it holds 20 in total, so we have space, I think 4 spaces left to go. Now it's been a really fun project, and I do have more 1 ounce silver bars, but I wanted to have a selection that I keep out in the YouTube stack, and that is why I decided to get one of these cases for a bit of motivation to continue stacking 1 ounce silver bars, because I've always had a soft spot for the 1 ounce silver bars. I think they're really nice looking pieces. Now in terms of investments, they're not necessarily a great investment, because ideally you want to be stacking your country's currency, and what I mean by that is if you're living in the UK, you want to be picking up Britannias, because they are capital gains tax exempt. So when you come to sell these in the future, you will not pay any capital gains tax on them. Now that can't be said with any other silver purchases that are made from other countries. For example, the American Silver Eagle. Now if you live in America, you'll probably get that same benefit. Now I'm not exactly sure on the tax laws and all the rest of it in the US, so do let me know in the comments section, but I'm guessing the same applies if you live in America and you stack American Silver Eagles, because it has a dollar face value. It's $1 on there. When you come to sell these, you will not pay any capital gains tax. Like I said, do let me know in the comments section if that is correct. And that's the thing when you're stacking any other type of silver. If you're not stacking silver that is your country's own currency, and the easiest way to be able to tell if it is your country's own currency or not is by looking at the coin, having a look at what the denominator is. You can see this one says $5. This is Canadian dollars. This is a silver maple. So for example, going back to the Britannia, you can see on there it has a face value of £2 sterling. So therefore that is my country's own currency. So that is how you know that it is capital gains tax exempt. Now when you come to rounds and things like that, they don't even contain a face value. They just contain a weight value. So if you look on there, it says at the top, 2 troy ounces, 999 fine silver. So this has no face value whatsoever. So regardless of what country you live in, when you come to sell this, you're going to end up paying capital gains tax. So it's just something to remember. Now I completely steered away from solely stacking my country's own currency bullion, and that is because I've got this YouTube channel, and if I was to just stack Britannia after Britannia all the time, not only would it become very boring for videos, it would also become very boring for myself, just picking up the same coin over and over again. But in reality, that would be the best way to stack precious metals, because that is the best way you're going to get closest to spot, as opposed to buying something like an American Silver Eagle that has to be imported from another country. And also, like I said, you get the tax benefits when you come to sell. But because I have this channel, I do need to keep it fresh. I do need to keep a nice selection of silver on display, because at the end of the day, like I said, people would not enjoy watching me stack the same thing over and over again. And also I'd get very, very bored of stacking. And stacking has not only become an investment, it started off as an investment when I first started picking up gold and silver. It was purely for investment purposes, but now it's gone way beyond that. Now it is a real hobby of mine, and now since I've started this channel, I've built up a load of new friends, a whole community around this stuff. So it's really evolved far further than when I first started picking up pieces of silver and gold as an investment. It's gone way beyond that. It is a hobby. It is also still an investment, but it is quite a big kind of lifestyle choice, if you like. Really, picking up this stuff is not cheap. You do have to make sacrifices. You do have to decide whether you want to go out for a takeaway or for a meal or for a few drinks with your friends, or whether you want to stay in and save up a bit more cash to be able to buy this stuff. So it does kind of become a lifestyle and a hobby, and like I said, an investment at the same time in the long-term future. So obviously that's not investment advice. I'm not a financial advisor. That's just my opinion. But it is really interesting to think where this journey has taken me. When I first started this channel, it was a way of documenting my stacking and investing journey. It was a way of documenting how much I was paying for items, how much I was stacking. and just kind of sharing my pickups with people. But now, like I said, it has gone way beyond that. It is now like a lifestyle. It is a hobby. I've built such a huge array of friends from doing this. I've got a huge community of people that I speak to on Stackers Social. Everyone has a talk on there. Everyone shares what they're up to, not just precious metal related, but whatever they're doing, whatever they've been, how their day's been going, and all the rest of it. So yeah, it has become a lot further than just an investment now. But back to the reason why I got this in the first place, and that was to relight my passion for 1 ounce silver bars, and I've really enjoyed filling this up. Let me just show you a couple of the bars from there. We're going to pick a couple at random. United We Stand, really cool 1 ounce bar. These are my favourite. Scottsdale, well, not my favourite, one of my favourite. You quite often hear me say this is my favourite, this is my favourite, and that is because everything's my favourite. When you're stacking precious metals, it is very addictive, and you do become very addicted to everything that you pick up. And to be honest, in the future, it's going to be very hard for me to decide what to sell first, because every single piece of silver that you see on display here, I've become very attached to it, because like I said, you do have to make sacrifices when you're buying this stuff. It is expensive. And when you're buying it, especially when you do a channel like this where I'm showcasing it all the time and I'm playing around with it all the time, it's not something I've just brought and I've put in a box and hidden away somewhere. It's stuff that I'm playing around with all the time, and I just really enjoy collecting, stacking and investing in precious metals. And like I've said before, it's a way of spending without actually spending. Before I got into this hobby, I was very, very bad at having money build up in my bank account. Whenever my bank had a surplus after all my bills and everything were paid, I couldn't just leave it sitting there. I'd end up going out, buying something, whether it be some new clothes, whether it be a new gadget, or whatever it may be. Whereas now, I've still kind of got that same mindset. It's very hard for me to let money just sit in my account, but now I turn it into this stuff. So it's like I said, it's a way of spending without actually spending, because I'm spending my money, but at the same time I'm converting it into another asset. So it's not going into a depreciating, so it's not going into a depreciating, there we go, I might cut that bit out, depreciating asset. It's going into something that's actually going to hopefully hold its value and increase over the course of my lifetime. So there we go, that's some of the bars that are in that display. And what I like about this is it is literally not just a storage, it is actually a display as well. Because if you had these bars, say, in a tube, not only would they not be as protected because they would clank around against each other, it also wouldn't look very good on display or on camera. Whereas when these are all stacked up in here, it actually looks really cool just sitting in the backdrop of my videos. Now in today's video, we're actually going to unbox another 1 ounce silver bar. Now this is actually from a seller that I've previously unboxed items from on the channel, and it's actually the perfect person for me to buy silver from, because the way that they package their items is very, very unique. They put it in a lot of different layers, they put it in these pouches, and it's just really cool experience when you're unpackaging from this particular person. Now I've got 3 left. Oh, got some more American Silver Eagles over here. I was trying to organise it before we started this video, so I had a bit more space. So we've got 3 here. So we're going to go for the middle one today, and then we'll save the other 2 for a future video. So let's get straight into it and see what we've got now. Like I've said to you many times on this channel before, I buy things and I forget what I've purchased. So although I know these are 1 ounce silver bars, I can't remember exactly what designs they are or anything like that. So it makes it quite exciting for me to unbox things as well. Really, really cool. These pouches are amazing. What a great way to send pieces of silver. It really gives a nice experience when you're opening them. And they've got this zip as well. Let's have a look at one we've got in here. Oh, here we go. EMCPT, so that must be the serial number. And I think this is an Engelhard bar. Look, it's in a double protection, so although it was in this pouch, not only was it in this pouch, it's also in one layer of plastic and another layer of plastic, so can't get much more protected than that. And yep, there we go, look at that. This is a vintage Engelhard bar, serialized, just a really kind of generic bar really, nothing too fancy, nothing too special, but nevertheless a really nice piece of silver, and it's going to look great adding it to my 1 ounce silver bar collection. So let's slide it in there, and then we have 3 spaces left to fill. Look at that. What a great way to store silver bars. Really cool. So as always, thanks very much for all the support. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Huge shout out to all of the channel members. As you can see, I've got them all on this barrel in the corner. The latest member is a Tiger Stacker, really great channel. He's a fairly new stacking YouTuber, but his content is already up there with some of the more seasonal YouTubers. So I definitely would recommend checking him out. Every single person that is on this barrel, their links to their channels are in the description of this video, so do head over and check them out also. Got the Stack Collector there, he was the very first member of this channel. Really cool, nice way to showcase everyone by having them on this barrel. As always, thanks very much for all the support. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video.